Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you've joined us here at Heart Matters today. We know that your time is valuable, so we're honored that you would take a bit of your time to tune in. Every fall, hundreds of churches and organizations across our country participate in something very special, and it's all centered around these small boxes. Many of you will be familiar with Operation Christmas Child shoeboxes. But in case you aren't, we're happy to welcome Kendra and Robbie Lynn from Operation Christmas Child to the program today to give us some insight into this powerful ministry. Also joining us as today's musical guests, we're happy to have Carrie Wheeler sing a couple of songs for us. So sit back, listen in, and we hope you enjoy the show.
God sent His Son, and they called Him Jesus, and He came to love, heal and forgive. But He lived and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives, and because He lives, oh, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all my fear is gone, and because I know He holds the future, well, life is worth just because He lives. And then one day, well, I'll cross that river, and I'll fight life's final war with pain. Oh, but there, as death gives way to victory, I'll see the lights of glory, and I'll know He reigns. And because He lives, oh, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all my fear is gone, and because I know He holds my future, and life is worth the living just because He lives.
Heart Matters will return in just a moment.
Looking for a quiet, clean, and economical place to stay in central Newfoundland? Emmanuel Convention Center offers hotel and motel rooms, cabins, bunk rooms, and RV lots. We are a family-friendly site featuring nature trails, a playground, and sporting areas. Give us a call today.
From envelopes to tractor-trailer loads, Dooley's Trucking caters to all your shipping needs. Capable of meeting all your shipping requirements throughout Newfoundland. Dooley's Trucking is your choice for fast and efficient delivery. Ship with the best. Ship Dooley's.
My name is Brandon Lee Mullet. I'm the owner here at Gander Appliance and Furniture, and I'd like to welcome you to our new showroom right here in Gander.
We carry a wide variety of furniture brands, including Canadian-made Decorest, Canadel Dining, and a large variety of Ashley furniture. We also carry major appliance brands such as Bosch, Maytag, and Whirlpool. Come visit us at 60 Armstrong Boulevard in Gander or 1 Fairview Street in Lewisport.
Closed captioning provided by Terry's Tents, offering services such as printing, embroidery, craft supplies, and canvas fabrication for over 30 years. Located in Happy Valley Goose Bay.
My name is Robbie Lynn Nickel, and I am the Regional Manager with Atlantic Canada for Operation Christmas Child. Right from the get-go, the mission of Operation Christmas Child is to provide a tangible expression of God's love to children in need, together with the local church worldwide, and to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. How we do that is by partnering with churches and community groups and people all across Canada to put together a shoebox with gifts, school supplies, all sorts of really exciting things. So when kids open them, they're excited to see them. And with that, we provide a gospel presentation and let them know that it's not just a box, it's not just a toy box, but it's because God loves you and there's people who care about you.
My name is Kendra Shields, and I have the privilege of serving as the director for Operation Christmas Child in Canada. For the last 15 years, I have been with Operation Christmas Child and just watched what God is doing. I feel so privileged to have that front row seat to how God is working through simple shoebox gifts that truly are changing lives. I've seen a little boy open his shoebox and he got a washcloth, and he was so excited about a simple washcloth. But to hear his story, he was the smallest boy in the room at the orphanage, and on bath and shower night, he went last, and the one towel that the whole room shared was soaking wet. And so for him, he had a washcloth, and it was his own personal towel, and he was just so excited over a simple washcloth. But that was something that told his heart that somebody knew, and that somebody was God who loved him, that sent him that shoebox.
With those shoeboxes, everyone in the country packs them. They get them all ready. We have churches all across the country who serve as drop-off locations. And so that third week of November, it's a great flurry of activity. Everybody brings their shoeboxes in, and they're sent out to Calgary to be processed and ready to ship all across the country. For our shoeboxes this year, we really want them to be fun, full, and personalized. So fun, right? We want there to be something that'll catch a kid's eyes, because kids are kids, right? They want to open a shoebox and see a beautiful stuffed animal, or they want to open a shoebox and see a soccer ball. So we want there to be something fun for them. We love having things like school supplies, pencil crayons, but also hygiene items, right? Combs, hair clips, all sorts of amazing things, hats, mittens. We want everybody to have a box that's full and exciting for them. So we say if it rattles, you can probably put a little more in there. And then personalize. We ask people to write a letter or a Christmas card, something that lets the child who's receiving it know a little bit about you. And we have these great opportunities for kids to fill in these pages where it just says, I'm Mary, and I'm from Gander, and my hair is right. And it's a lot of fun for the child who's receiving it to know who sent it to them. Yeah, and things to not put in a shoebox. If it goes in your mouth or on your body, it probably shouldn't go in a shoebox. So toothpaste, candy, food, not in a shoebox. And then anything that's really quite frightening, right? Anything war-related doesn't go in a shoebox. We don't want to put our kids at risk when they're receiving their boxes.
In our processing center in Calgary, all of the shoeboxes that are sent in from across Canada must be inspected so that we can ship them overseas. So we go through every single box only to remove the items that will cause a problem at customs, anything sharp, anything that would break or ruin the contents of a box, anything that would harm or scare a child, or hold things up in the customs and importation process. From there, they're sealed, they're packed into sea containers, and then we ship them out in December, and they go to receiving countries that Canada sends shoeboxes to in Central America, West Coast Africa, Ukraine, and the Philippines. And there, they're met by volunteer teams that distribute them to different secure storage locations around their countries, and then ministry partners, churches will come and get the shoeboxes that have been allotted to them, and they take those shoeboxes back to the outreach event at their church where they are finally distributed to children. I've had the privilege of traveling and being a part of the ministry on the ground. In one trip to Africa, my heart was just captured by a little girl named Daniela. She was the oldest of 9 that were living with grandma that none of them were related to. They weren't related to each other, but this was their family. They were a family of 10, and Daniela's responsibility was to bring the water to their home. And to do that, Daniela had to walk a long way, and it's hot in Africa. And she did not like having to walk to the neighboring community to use the tap to fill the bucket and then to haul it all the way home. And she had to do this multiple times a week. While she was in the neighboring community, she heard some singing, and she was watching some children playing games. And she just kept getting closer and closer when a friendly lady invited her in. And it was one of the greatest journey lessons that was being taught by a ministry partner in that community. And the greatest journey is our 12-lesson discipleship follow-up program. Daniela hadn't received a shoebox then, but she saw the greatest journey classes taking place, and she planned her trip for water on the same day so that she could listen to the lessons and be a part of the greatest journey class. I asked her what she loved so much about the greatest journey, and she said, "Miss Kendra, it's practice." And I said, "Practice? How is going to the greatest journey lessons practice for you?" She said if she could be anything she wanted to when she grew up, she wanted to be a teacher. And so as she walked to get water, she would listen to the lesson, and then she would tell herself the lesson all the way home so that when she got back to her brothers and sisters, she could tell them the greatest journey. I was just blown away. But then she really got me when she said, at first, I'd have to round them up when I got home so I could tell them the story. But now they're waiting for me when I get home. We have no idea how some simple little things are what are capturing the hearts of children, and they are opening their hearts to receive Jesus.
Probably every day, if not every day, at least every week, say to myself, I can't believe I get to do this. I can't believe I get to be part of a global ministry sharing the gospel across the world. I really didn't think this was where my life was going to go, but now I can't think of any other thing that I'd rather do. It's just great to be part of something bigger than just myself.
In one year, I decided that I was going to serve as seasonal staff just before Christmas and make some extra money for the holiday season. So I went in and I took a shoebox down and I opened it up, and right on top was a holiday Barbie, beautiful Barbie doll. And when I lifted it out, underneath the Barbie was a harmonica and some work gloves and a measuring tape. It was very boy-oriented items in the bottom of the box with this girl Barbie on top. So I checked the label to see if it was to be sent to a boy or a girl, and it said boy 10 to 14. The Barbie didn't seem to fit with the rest of the box. And the supervisor very firmly but kindly shared, if it came in the shoebox, it must go in the shoebox unless it would cause a problem at customs. I was so frustrated because that did not seem right to me. 4 months later, I'm on staff at Samaritan's Purse, and one of the speakers that morning had just returned from an OCC outreach event trip in Central America. He said, I need to tell you about a special outreach event that I was able to be a part of. He noticed that one boy in particular started to get really agitated. And he started to ask questions like, do all the children in the community get shoebox gifts, or is it only the children that are here? And Gil explained, it's only the children that are here that are going to get shoebox gifts. The young boy said, it's just not fair. My sister was supposed to come with me tonight, but she didn't get her chores done on time, and so Mom and Dad said she couldn't come. And now I'm gonna take this gift home. And it's not fair, my sister won't get anything. He said, guys, we cut the tape on that shoebox, and when he lifted the lid of the shoebox, guess what the first thing was that he saw? He saw the holiday Barbie in her red sparkly dress and her purse and her shoes. How intimately he cares about the details of our lives. That box, when I was processing it, he would know that that box was going to that boy, and for what reason. And yet, of the 300,000 plus shoeboxes that were processed in the warehouse that year, I touched one. I got to hear the story of how he used that, how big is our God, and how intimately does he love me.
There's 3 main ways to get involved. You can pack, you can pray, and you can partner. It's a simple project that has an incredible impact. So pack a shoebox, find your local drop-off center, and bring them on the 3rd week of November. You could be packing the box that that specific kid this year needs to have, right? That child needs to have. And then pray. It's really through that prayer, that power of prayer, that we can do what we do. Really, it is a ministry that everyone can have a piece of. Everybody can be part of what we're doing. And the more the merrier.
To see it all and then be able to share it all is just a great joy.
It's clear that we believe God works through people. Every story, song, and message that is shared here on Heart Matters is done through people. On and off camera, God is using people to speak his message of hope. And here's where you can help. Go ahead and send us suggestions of people from your area that could be a part of an upcoming show. What God is doing in the lives of people around us is too good not to share with others. Also, if something you've heard in the show has impacted you, we'd love to hear about that as well. Simply drop by our website and leave us some feedback there, or send us a direct message on social media. And speaking of social media, if you're not yet following us, please join in so you can see the latest on upcoming episodes and events. Still to come in today's show, The Bottom Line with Mike Freake, and more music from Carrie Wheeler when Heart Matters returns.
Scott's Transport Limited is a family-owned and operated full transportation company located in beautiful Deer Lake. In business for over 25 years and with a fleet of modern equipment and dedicated team, we service the growing needs of businesses from Newfoundland and Labrador to Ontario and locations in between. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
Looking for quality products and top-notch service? From lumber to paint and refrigerators to sofa, your local Notre Dame Home Furnishings and Notre Dame Castle Building Centers can help you complete your home, serving you from 16 locations across Newfoundland and Labrador, 6 days a week.
In 2008, a number of teams from our province traveled on a mission trip to Malawi, Africa. And each team spent nearly 2 weeks traveling around from village to village doing all types of work. And it was such a powerful experience, and I'm sure that everyone involved will never forget it. Well, one day it was decided to take a little break from all the work that we were doing, and we all drove to Lake Malawi. Now, this lake is huge. It's like sitting and looking out at the open ocean. I mean, that's how big it is. And on that particular day, it was windy, which meant the waves were rolling in big. All the teams were sitting on the beach enjoying some R&R when all of a sudden, we could hear the screams of a mother as she was panicking at the sight of her young boy, around 8 or 9 years of age, going under the water. He was drowning. This young boy was struggling to stay above water as the waves were crashing over him. And before we could even register what was happening, our leader at the time, Junior Andrews, leapt off the beach and ran with everything that he had, and he dove into the lake. He swam out, the waves were coming in over him, but he managed to bring the boy to safety, to the delight of his mother. Now, I don't know if you're watching Junior, but that was pretty epic. It was kind of like watching Superman in action. You know, as I think about what happened that day, I think about the many people who are drowning all around me. And of course, I'm not talking about drowning in the literal sense, but there are so many people all around us every day who are overwhelmed by the circumstances of life. And you don't have to look very far to see people drowning in hopelessness. They're all around. And honestly, maybe that's you today. And you just feel so overwhelmed by the things of life. You know, maybe you feel like you're drowning in marriage problems and family issues. Maybe you're drowning in addiction, drowning in debt, drowning in depression, and you're asking yourself, how am I going to get out of this? How can I get through this? And it seems like every day, another wave comes crashing over your life, and you're not sure how much longer you can keep treading water. You know, the mission of the church ultimately is to let people know that there is a lifeline for those who feel this way, which means that the church is supposed to run just like Junior did. We are not called to enjoy comfort on the beach. We are called to run to the drowning. Every follower of Jesus and every church is called to run and throw the lifeline to that single mom or dad who's struggling, throw the lifeline to the homeless, to the lonely, throw it to the broken, throw the lifeline to the person struggling with addictions, throw the lifeline to that teenager who's struggling with depression, who's trying to find their way out. So walk with the broken, run to the drowning, and let them know there's hope. The bottom line is that there is hope for them, and there's hope for you. And what a tragedy it would be to spend our lives in comfort on the beach, all the while having the answer right in our hands.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above, join with all nature and all I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Oh, great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me.
He is more than able to provide for whatever we need. We believe that God is indeed our provider, and He uses so many different avenues to pour out His blessings on us. He may send the right person your way when you need an encouraging word. He may choose to send important supplies to a child in need through a Christmas shoebox. He may even speak into your heart through a short half-hour TV show. The important thing to realize is that God is concerned about you, and He wants you to know it. I want to thank Carrie, Robbie Lynn, and Kendra for making today's episode another great one. And a big thanks to all of you for joining us here each week. Be sure to tune in next week as we hear a powerful full circle story from this province and how the Christmas Shoebox program impacted the life of Florence Shaw. Well, that's all the time we have for now, but we hope to see you here again next week.